In a society, every country, every democracy is a product of continuing struggle.
Some of us lived through the system.
You know, they are celebrating their with our age. I think we need to commend the Nigerians.
Guests were treated to good music, choice.
Widows in the state to strive for self-reliance for the sake of their children. She said this.
Odyssey of abuse, discrimination and the struggle for release from various forms of social bondage. It is in a bid of addressing this that the First Lady of Lagos State, Bolanle Ambode, all is well with widows in the state.
We had carefully studied the situation and discovered that this category of persons is the hardest hit. Children, women, widows, the youths, and the aged.
Facilitators at events encourage widows in the state to take advantage of opportunity has further exposed widows to hardship.
In Africa, widows and their children constitute one of the most serious violations of human rights and a major hate and discrimination in custom across the world.
Others at the event commended the initiative of the First Lady and urged
of issues will come up, and then you are faced with training your children through school. But when they are empowered, it gives them confidence.
She has made the widow proud again after going through hard times. She has empowered us in 3 categories.
And straight now, the teachers, led by the state chairman of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, Musa Abubakar, staged a peaceful protest around the Ilorin metropolis, and however said they were not against teachers and the situation of primary school education in the state. Said teachers were rolled an average of 4 months by different local government councils in the state.
Where you and I belongs, where the downtrodden belongs, and we feel that there is need for us, and as a trade union, to come out to show our authorities.
Addressing the teachers at the Government House, Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Isiaka Gold, said that the
are really great. They will continue to be great, and greatest will be their own, inshallah. But behind, I have received your document, which is the paper I have here. I have read everything, and your request and your prayers.
As Iniyawe has berated the Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, for agitating against local government autonomy. NUT members have staged protests in some states of the Federation kicking against local government autonomy, getting their salary as at when due if financial autonomy is effected.
They want to go to MPEC. They want MPEC to be reintroduced. Good. Let the federal government reintroduce MPEC. Let it manage their affairs and remove the percentage with which.
You're watching the news on Galaxy Television. Coming up next is Business Reports.
Hello and welcome to Business. Nigeria's Frederick Aga has been reappointed for a 4-year term, which he assumed on October 1 that year. He will resume his second term at the WTO headquarters in Geneva on October 1 till September 30, 2021. The Director General of WTO, Roberto Azevedo, announced the appointment of Aga alongside 3 other Deputy Directors General. The 164-member countries organization is the only global international body that deals with the rules of trade between nations to help producers of 5 against the US dollar, up from 368 previously recorded. This comes as the Central Bank of Nigeria continues to support foreign exchange into the market. The Apex Bank recently sold $195 million in various segments of the interbank market to boost the currency following the Eid al-Fitr celebration. A breakdown of the intervention indicates that authorized dealers in the wholesale window segment received 100 million. Spokesman Isaac Okora, for in a statement, confirmed the figures and disclosed that the bank was impressed by the high level of transparency exhibited by stakeholders in the market. A new report by the Natural Resource Governance Institute, NRGI, says Nigeria's excess crude account is one of the world's most poorly governed sovereign wealth fund. The report oversight and transparency in NRGI's Index of Resource Management. NRGI rated 11th sovereign wealth fund managing least $1.5 trillion in total as failing. Money from the account, which is rainy day fund, is occasionally used by the government to cover budget shortfalls on the management, but NRGI said it had ranked the ECA due to its larger balance sheet. Finally, in business, oil prices rose to a 2-week high on Thursday, extending a rally into a 6th straight session at $47.66 a barrel, having touched a 2-week high of $47.83. It registered an intraday high of $45.24, also a 2-week peak. And that's Business Reports.
You're watching the news on Galaxy. Representative from the Nigeria Basketball Federation election in Abuja, Ejike Ugboaja, says greed is the 12th of June, while the Musa Kida-led board held another election on the 13th of June in Abuja. Speaking to Galaxy Television, Ejike
about the crisis, it's not crisis per se, it's called greed. It's not a crisis. Because in the world that we play basketball, there's nothing like crisis in sports that we suffer. Because most times, somebody's greedy somewhere. And they're sitting down playing politics with sports. It's never done. It's a normal thing. If you do your 8 years, you give a space. Even in our government, you do 8 years, you go. Let somebody else come in. You understand? But now, greed. I was with the national team up till 2 years ago. I backed off. I backed off out of the national team because of the nonsense that was going in there.
Ejike says his dream as the players' representative.
I see a lot of stuff that we grieve when those days, you know. So now I want to correct so much because Olumide Oyedeji was me to, or they elected me to do this. I really want to bring so much change to them and make sure players get what they are supposed to get and play.
Henry Onyekuru has confirmed to Galaxy Television that former Arsenal captain and striker Thierry Henry remains his mentor. The former European attacker who scored 24 goals last season says he watches.
Before going to Aspire, before taking football as a profession, I always like watching him play. You know, even up to date, I still go back to YouTube, play some of his previous games in Arsenal, and I keep learning some things from him. You know, I had some ideas there, and I hope to meet him someday. You know, yes, because I believe. You know, I believed. It's just all about having faith and belief. So you say, still remains the same person, Thierry Henry. Like I said before, I keep watching his game, even on YouTube, previous game, and up to date, the same thing. He said he has found the new Messi. Yeah, made him say such. Yes, of course. Like I said before, I want to do more than I did last season for Cassiopean and try to be among the top scorers again. Yes, nothing changed. It's football, you know. Okay, there.
And away from sports news, coming up next are stories making headlines outside Nigeria.
Welcome to the international scene. Islamic State. Reports say the complex is still exposed to